transmissibility of light would be there, and you can also still walk on the roof. So thank you.
आपसे तो बहुत कुछ सुना बाकी है। एक कुछ प्रॉब्लम है ये से ये जब तो मेरी वाली से तो हम उनको पहले ले लेते हैं और आफ्टर लंच आपका कम से कम आधा घंटा है and Dr. Anuradha is sitting here and you not stop me. Yes. Dr. Stoker.
And I should say the delegates, they are although few, but I will be sharing some of the things, my personal experience. So I was motivated with the talk of Dr. Gaur. I can't talk in that fashion, but I am coming with something new. Because every time you will see that spatial technology, AI, IoT, most of the people don't know what it is and how it is going to help us, how we can use it. Most of the time we require, say that satellites are required, this information is required, that big equipments are required, but something different is coming up. And if we see here, even the Windows 10, it has also provision for the IoT. That is, I will not go in detail, but I am coming up. You can see these type of information generation. I will not go in detail with these diagrams because it is sometimes complicated also, and sometimes you can easily also understand. But these are all this is generalized IoT and AI flow, means artificial intelligence workflow for horticulture. That concept I have tried to come out with it, and how we can utilize it in day-to-day work or in our area of specialization. I will give some examples with my personal experience. Although there is it is now I think proved by that Windows 10 IoT enabled. It is available. That is not only for the computers, it is also available for the Windows. So how we can go further? So I am coming on that. Also, you know that the spatial technology, that is a technology which is different layers. And previously, I should speak that about 15 years back, people were not knowing about GPS. Now today VPS is available. GPS, what is GPS? People not knowing. In 2000, we went for the training for this spatial technology in Philippines. That when he said that this training is of no use because we don't have GPS. At that time, GPS was costing about 30,000 or more than that. So about 20 years back, I am saying. So it was now if you go to any place, if you don't want to use the GPS, your mobile is recording it. You can get it directly that you are at this longitude, latitude. So that is available. It can be utilized. We started with working on many of the slides may be known to you. We started with the finer details of the varietal requirement of the mango. People say the sherry is not common in south. The Alfonso can't be grown in north. Why? So we worked out the climatic parameters. We made what was behind it, the spatial technology and artificial intelligence, which is we are pronouncing it or defining it in a more better way. That was there, and we utilize this for predicting it And again, today also you can see that the Shari has gone to this Odisha, it has gone to Andhra Pradesh, then this area of the Maharashtra and some part of the Gujarat. This we predicted about 20 years back. So there are many things where you can utilize this technology. I will not go in detail. Identification of suitable varieties. Every horticulture is required. Availability period, when it will be available, you can calculate what is the heat units available there. You can have the submission, map it, and get it. Then off-season production, where off-season production can be made. I will give example. In several things, I will not go in detail. This is one of the example we did experiments. Off-season production of mangoes. Alfonso, which is the costliest mango. The off-season mango, which comes in February, that is costing about 4,000 rupees a dozen. So how it can be produced using some of the technology. Paclobutazol people are using abundantly. So what we did, about 2.5 months earlier use of paclobutazol, that can induce the flowering, fruiting, both, and the crop can be advanced. But when we tried it at different places in India, it has not failed. It has failed. Why? Then we came with it that when the minimum temperature of the coldest month is more than 14 degree, then only you can do it. So these type of things you can work out. These are the special technology that it can be in your any experiment in any of the field you can apply it. Okay. This is another example where we can locate which are the final places for some of the crops which require certain climatic parameters for the proper quality. As Dr. Gaur was saying that some of the bioactive compounds, some of the secondary metabolites, those can be pinpointed, and there we can come up with growing for that area. Then if we say that some of the places you have seen the red guava, red apple color guava, where in Allahabad itself, it doesn't develop red color in certain part. So we have come up with what are the parameters, how we can work it. And the example is that this is a variety Lalit. Guava Lalit is not red colored, but it became red color. We predicted in one of the papers we presented about 15 years back that this area in the northeast, it is a place Yachuli at 4,500 feet. There it has come as a red apple type. So this is the expression. This gene expression, Anuradha can relish it. It is somewhat different when we find it in different ecology. Docs can have their some of the floriculture crops where we can grow, we can demonstrate. They were an example of this kiwi fruit. Which are the places where we can grow kiwi fruit beautifully? So you can map. We have mapped it. What are the requirements? We have gone for that. Then we have projected how the climate change is going to affect the suitable area for different varieties, particularly Alfonso and others. You can find off-season amla that is sold at 150 rupees a kg in Delhi market when there is no amla available in other parts. In summers also, in March, April, you can get amla. So 2 crops of amla can be produced. These crops are produced in certain areas, and you can see we have marked it with all this technology how this amla can be produced twice a year, and this off-season production can be done. So off-season production in many of the crops it is possible. Then lychee. Lychee is a very typical crop as far as flowering is concerned. The flowering will be only in certain areas where it will be and what are the requirements we have gone. Again, there was some work. Madam will be interested from where we should get the jumplas. You can see the jumplas in India. If it is imported from the area with the genotypes which are suitable in rice instead of China, Myanmar, Vietnam, Laos, those varieties will be highly suitable for our place. So that type of work you can use. So these are some of the examples I am giving. Why it is not working? So why? But lychee is not suitable in certain as a crop in certain areas. We have gone for and we found that coldest month temperature. We have mapped it. When the limit of that coldest month of the temperature is like this, the lychee will not be having flowering. So here, if the temperature increases with the 0.2 degree centigrade, what will be the effect on the suitability of the crop of Alfonso that we work? Some of the variables we can work out what is the difference. If the future climate database and the current climate database. Mainly the temperature seasonality is playing important role, and several of the parameters you can go for that. So again, people were talking about drone. Drone directly is not so useful. Only it can spray or many things which we are seeing that these are the application. But most of the application will be using it for artificial intelligence. I will come up with some of the simple example. We have used the drone which we are used in marriage photography. I use that drone and how we have come with a very interesting result. I will show you. So orchard mapping, this is required. Big, large, huge orchards are there. It is very difficult. Grapes, pomegranate, these can be managed. Banana can be managed. But for big orchards in mango, it is sometimes very, very useful. So miniature drones are there, but there are many drones. This is an example. You must be knowing Parama disease. The TR4 strain of the fusarium wilt. It has entered into India also, and it was the incidents in UP and Bihar. It was a pathetic condition. So what we did, we utilized this drone. This was simple, the same field. We filtered this and we could find out, because if you have to survey a larger area, it is difficult to go to plant, and we could find out. And this is a simple example. And we worked our algorithm and we found it, and that this is a disease. This is a Parama disease. So it was somewhat useful for us to covering the mapping the area, larger area within a short time. These are some of the examples where it is can be used beautifully for the pollination. Sometimes people are interested in pollination of date palms. These are examples where the disease can be predicted, which are the area, and how the 2050 the diseases can be increasing. The plant disease in banana, black sigatoka banana disease, that is there. Again, you can have the where the susceptible plant, this material can be located, where you can work on that, where resistance can be worked out, how their accession can be tested. So this is one of the example. We have mapped for TR4, tropical race 4. Tropical race 4, it is not here in other parts of the banana growing areas. But in future, the banana will be shifting from this place to north. This will be all from central India to other places. It will be coming to the north. UP, it is now producing banana in 90,000 hectares. Nobody will believe. And 90,000 hectares, it is going to be, I think, second or third largest producer of the country. But there, the Panama disease TR4 has come up. So this is one of the problem, and we have come up. Dr. Damodaran is there. He has become the director of CISS Lucknow now. So we have come up with a wild mapping, how to do it, and this we map it. Then this is an example we made, we can have for the entire world. So which is the Southeast Asia we worked, and we found that those information that this ground truth is there, and local the banana has been. This is one of the example. The mango wilt has become important. So how it will be changing from 50 to 2070, that is there. Now, due to the future climate change, many problems are coming. Those may be at some places due to higher rainfall. So higher rainfall in which portion, how it is going to affect, you can work out with it. Then sensors are working. I will not go in detail. Many sensors are there. Smartphone, their applications are there because time is not available. Otherwise, I would have given you some of the things. But this is one of the examples where artificial intelligence is now started. Engineers have started working. Now in grapes and other crops, it will be coming up. There people are using even ultrasound for spraying the economic use of the sprays and everything. Then disease can be forecasted very easily in some of the crops. This is one of the ultrasound this is guided. Again, you can have the different systems also. Crop identify, system can identify where the crop canopy is there, where you spray. Those type of systems are coming up. And many areas where the soil scientists are working. It is a huge number of gadgets are coming up. The algorithms are there. AI is the one of the important area where the spatial data is now going to be utilized with the artificial intelligence. Then this type of mapping were long back for the precision farming. We were thinking, but now here it has been further utilized for the simple things. And your image taken by the mobile that can be utilized for many of the results, interpretation using mobile information that can be utilized. As I have given for the drone, which is used for the marriage, this photography, those type of things are there. Planning for diversification is one of the area and where these technology can be utilized. Internet of Things, if I don't touch, then my topic of this talk will not be justified. So how the orchards are having that type of integration of different components. The physical entirety, the physical equipment, those are now being interconnected, and this is becoming common, and many of the automation processes are going on the base. Oh, sorry. 1 minute. So another thing is that there are now mobile AI apps also. You can have a database unit which is capturing. You can place it in anywhere, and this Android phone can provide you. This type of profiling of the orchard that is going to help you in many ways. But there are special technologies. Drones are here. I will not go here. Artificial intelligence is guiding the drones. Sorry, it is robotics is based on that. That's why I'm not giving much detail. Here, the most important area which is coming up in the post-harvest technology, where you can reject the fruits which are disease or something of understandard or which have not taken the right color or the ripening. So this is a machine learning algorithms are there. Those are very much important. As I have already predicted those. I have given some of the maps. They are also machine learning process has been utilized, and there also artificial intelligence was there, but we were not knowing much about it. Now it is greatly coming in. Here, this is one of the example how dragon fruit became profitable in China. In some of the parts, it was not profitable. So the technology, LED, and how the long day simulation was there, but here also artificial intelligence is required. Blockchain solution, it are going to dent the international market and exports and everywhere. So there, artificial technology will be definitely there, and their traceability can be only it requires it has to be equipped with the artificial intelligence and particularly spatial technology also. Now GPS and VPS, people are talking about VPS. We can have for our orchard, we can have for our polyhouse, glass house, that type of possibility. But here we in India, some limitations are there. The greatest limitation, we are becoming dependent on the technology. Afterwards, we may become dependent on the technology totally. But these are several things are that must be locally known to you. But definitely, spatial, artificial intelligence, and IoT technologies are going to affect us, and their potential is coming up, creeping in definitely with a very silently with a very great speed. As the mobile has become one of the essential commodity in our life, these will be also becoming with in horticulture also. So thank you very much. I shared some of the things. Pardon?
Excellent presentation.
Time was not that. That's all. What do you
Relevant presentation. No doubt about it, and within a short span of time, you have completed so many things. And it was quite interesting as well.
My objective was that these technologies we can use in our research. We can greatly go. Definitely. मैडम को तो मैंने रिक्वेस्ट इसलिए किया था, मेरा एक लेक्चर ही पूरा इस पे है. I have not given it. Entire lecture is only plant genetic resource management and this technology. Thank you very much. Definitely, I need it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Stolden, you want something about before you start your own?
Sir.
Please your presentation. And afterward, Dr. Solkumar also in case within 5 minutes, so that we can complete all the invited then afterwards we can go. That's a 5 minute में पूरा मेरे नाम दिखा.
Thank you so much, sir. So in another 10 minutes, I will take you to Ladakh, which is the crown of India. So very briefly, I will tell you about like a major problem which the people in Ladakh are facing, and how we as a DRDO organization, we address it, and how we actually work together with the state agriculture department to take the technology to the farmers field, and finally the recognition that we got in the form of Prime Minister Award for Excellence for Innovation. So like Ladakh is very different from Pantnagar or Delhi actually. See, if you look at the temperature, annual mean maximum temperature is 13 degrees centigrade. For the national average is around 30 degrees. and the annual mean temperature minimum is only 0.1 degree centigrade. And for the national, it's 20.9 degrees. See, such a temperature variation, and it is a desert because our total crop area is only 0.4%, and the area under forest cover is only 0.23%. So Ladakh is very different from rest part of the country, and so our problems are also very unique. So if you just look at the temperature, monthly temperature from January to April, the minimum temperature is minus. So there's no question of actually growing crop in open field condition. Same is the case from October to December again. So the only time that we actually get to grow crops is from mid-May to mid-September. And for rest part of the year, if you want to have fresh vegetable, only the greenhouse technology is the only solution for us. So in place like Pantnagar or Chandigarh, if you have got the money, you can go and buy anything, any sort of vegetable. But we in Ladakh, we are not fortunate. This is what we eat. Practically, I'm born and brought up in Ladakh. In December, January, particularly that period, if you want to have leafy green vegetable, only spinach. And that too in the month of December, you won't get spinach also. So we basically rely on potato, onion, radish, and cabbage because we grow it and we store it, and it can be stored up to 5 to 6 months. So this is practically what people in Ladakh are eating for 5 to 6 months in a year. Look at this picture. This is the picture which I have taken. It's really sad. People are waiting in freezing winter for hours together just to buy 2 to 3 kg of vegetables. And I'm sure no one in this house, we have to wait for hours together just to buy vegetables. Nothing is free. Just for buying also, you have to wait for hours together. And this is a practical example actually where there's a real problem and where solution need to be solved. So we do have passive solar greenhouse. It is not that Ladakh doesn't have greenhouses. We do have our traditional greenhouses, and it is being used for the last 50 years. But there's a major problem with those greenhouses. The temperature in the month of December, January dropped to -6 to -10 degrees centigrade. So only leafy type of vegetable can be grown. And that too in the month of December, January, there's no question of actually growing anything. Plant is just surviving. Spinach is just surviving. It's not growing. So we are not getting anything. So one solution could be, okay, why don't we actually get it from the plain area through flights? Yes, it is. But you know how much it costs? It costs 80 to 110 rupees just for the air cargo charges. And on top of it, actually, the cost of the vegetable and profit also, it's really practically common people cannot consume this type of vegetable. So we thought, why don't we actually develop a new type of greenhouse which is totally farmer friendly? So our approach was that first actually try to understand the actual problem which people are having as far as the traditional greenhouse are concerned. So our team, we practically visited 154 greenhouses, spent time with the farmers, try to actually understand what problem exactly which they are having. And at the same time, we also look at the performance of the greenhouses which we already have at our institute. In our greenhouses also, again, the temperature drops to -6 to -10 degrees in the month of December and January. So based on the problem which we found there, we make a lot of changes actually in the greenhouses. But at the same time, we kept in mind that whatever technology that we are going to develop, it has to be farmer friendly. So accordingly, we change the cladding material, we change the roof, we change the wall, we change the door, window, shape, size, everything we have changed. And so finally we come out this greenhouse, and we name it as Ladakh greenhouse because this greenhouse has been developed for Ladakh and by the people of Ladakh. So otherwise, initially we keep it as a Bihar greenhouse, but then see, there's not much acceptable if you just keep it as in your name. So we just change the name and keep it as Ladakh greenhouse. And so this is totally a farmer friendly greenhouse, very simple structure. It's totally passive. There's not even a single electronic gadget, and it really looks good. And the temperature remains 8 to 12 degrees warmer as compared to the traditional greenhouses, and it can be used all throughout the year. And its life is almost 15 to 20 years.
Polycarbonate sheet.
Yeah, it's a polycarbonate sheet. That's just one part. Say. So this is the history in Ladakh. Growing cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, nol kol. Some of my friends are here from Ladakh. Yeah, they serve DRDO Ladakh for many years. We have never seen like growing this type of vegetable in the month of like December or January. And over the years, we refine our agro technique. Now, this is a picture taken just few days back. See, we are getting excellent quality broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, nol kol in December and January. We have taken tomato as a model crop because see, as we all know, tomato is highly temperature sensitive. The moment temperature drop to less than 4 degrees centigrade, the plant will start showing symptoms. So continuously from 2018 till now, we are getting tomato in the passive greenhouse without any electric power source, without covering the greenhouse. In China, people are doing it, but what they are doing, they are covering the greenhouse during night time and opening in the morning. But that is not farmer friendly. Farmers won't do it because our farmers are very small, and even the greenhouse which we have, they are not big in size. So like means really, it's really gives immense satisfaction when you actually see like harvest the tomato in the month of December. This is mushroom, 31st January 2021 in the same greenhouse. And we are also able to get early crop. Getting bindi or cucumber in the month of June is actually practically impossible in Ladakh. But in this greenhouse, we are getting it. Summer months, normally people feel that it will be too hot. But here the temperature never crossed more than 45 degrees centigrade. And we are able to use the greenhouse during summer month as well. So now the question comes, like, see, what about this replication? Okay, as a research organization, we have it. Whether we can actually transfer the technology to the farmers field or not. So we invited the elected representatives of that region. At the same time, we also invited the UT administration, Honorable Lieutenant Governor also invited just to see the vegetables in the month of December and January. And the first thing which they have asked, okay, if you are getting it, then why can't you can you actually replicate the same thing on the farmers field? And so DRDO established 5 greenhouses free of cost on farmers field just to see whether it can be replicated on the farmers field or not. And I'm really happy to say this picture from the farmers field in December, and they are also getting the same thing actually what we are getting. And then we formally transfer the technology to the state agriculture department free of cost without any charge. Complete technology was transferred to them, and then we prepared with the UT administration this project, Ladakh Greenhouse project, 76 crore rupees, where we have proposed that farmers should be given 75% subsidy, because one such greenhouse costing like 60 feet to 24 feet, it costs almost 6.1 crore, 6.14 lakhs. So UT administration is very kind enough that they've agreed to give 75% subsidy, and this project was launched by Honorable Lieutenant Governor. And then we have to actually then create awareness about this greenhouse technology. A lot, it has been widely covered in the local media, and for the first time on 5th January 2022, we had put the first sale of greenhouse vegetable in Ladakh. Earlier, thinking of vegetable in Ladakh is practically impossible. Now, like this was inaugurated by the Secretary Agriculture. So growing this type of vegetable is something actually new in Ladakh. Now see, during last 2 years, 1,200 greenhouse has been established, and earlier only few types of vegetable there, but now this is a picture of 21st of January, and see our farmers are growing a variety of vegetables. These are not our vegetables. These are the vegetables which are being produced by the farmers in their greenhouse. And we also do technology assessment also, because once the technology goes there, we do the actual assessment. Good part of DRDO is that we work very closely with the State Department. We invited almost 30 officers from the State Agriculture Department, and also the progressive farmers who are actually using the greenhouse. And so we really discuss about the issues in case if they have. And just see, holding cauliflower in the month of December in your hand is something actually give a totally different experience. So the payback period of this greenhouse is 6 years if you don't get any subsidy. But in case of our greenhouse, the UT administration gives 75% subsidy. So the payback period of this greenhouse is only 2 years. And so, like last year, we received the Prime Minister Award for Excellence under the innovation category for this greenhouse technology. So this is what like we are used to get some 2 years back. But now I'm really happy the farmers start selling this cauliflower in the market from the greenhouse that actually like we have developed. And so we still have a long way to go. So we want to make sure that every people in Ladakh, they should be able to get all sorts of vegetable like people which they are getting here in this place. With this, thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
So you can definitely add.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
This morning we are discussing it.
Thanks.
And actually lunch maybe SMS you have to lunch. So lunch is so how do यदि आप गवर्नमेंट में अपनी बात कैसे
कोशिश करते हैं. So grape, one of the most important fruit crop, we are majorly growing on Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and even Mizoram. Being exported, 8 to 10% of the crop is being exported, and 1 year back we have seen to 2,350 crores business have been done from 8 to 10%, and which is contributing more than 50% of all the horticultural crops being grown on an area of almost now 1.6 lakh hectare, with a major contribution in this one. Different varieties like white seedless and colored, white and colored varieties. Then other wine grape varieties are also being grown in different pockets. Rootstocks are also grown, and these are the different rootstocks which are being grown on different conditions for different purposes. These are the varieties being made available in the market, for which we say it is a quality grapes. Quality grapes means uniform color, either it is a red or even a colored or white. Then uniform size, shape, and your total soluble solids from the top to the bottom, and eating quality again with shelf life also. These are the different growth stages after fruit pruning being followed. Stresses in a grape, we talk about there are major abiotic as well as biotic stresses. I'm dealing with only abiotic stress: water, temperature, salt, atmospheric stresses, and all. So these are the major things where excess or even deficit can affect. We have studied a grape from the beginning for different purposes. Mainly we dealt with the rootstock, considering the problem of soil as well as water, shortage of water, excess of water, as well as even different soil conditions. And we have studied different varieties, different rootstock with the combination of different varieties, and for this growth and yield parameters. Photosynthetic activities were also studied. Then photosynthetic activities, then physiological parameters, and many things like then again other parameters like the stock sign ratio. Most important things, whether its compatibility is there or not, that also has to be seen. Like what we say in temperate condition or in the hilly condition, whether this particular genotype is working under this condition or not. Likewise, particular rootstock, whether it is working for a particular parameter with this particular sign combinations and all. So we have studied all these parameters like the gas section parameters and all, and we found a different rootstock is behaving differently for these parameters, for this work. Even biochemical contents, what we say that is a quality, it is not only grape quality, but it is ET quality also, and which constitute your phenolics, then anthocyanins, then your acids, flavor compounds, tannin, all those parameters for which we studied, and we found different rootstocks, and we have studied for those parameters, and we found particular rootstock is compatible or particular rootstock is performing better for these varieties. And then we have also studied the nutrient status of those particular varieties. Then photosynthetic activities. Then we have seen again biochemical parameters, then it's growth parameters at different very development stages. And we found that rootstock has got a positive impact and positive effect on the roots on this variety, particular variety, and that if we prune this variety of particular period, then the degradates and its light requirement, then its chlorophyll content, which contributes for your storage and all, finally leading to the best quality grapes, which we have studied. Then we could see the storage. There's correlations of these even vegetative growth parameters with your physiological parameters also, and we found the positive correlation of a particular rootstock and particular growth stage with the parameters. Then we have also studied the status of that leaf, how it is behaving under different pruning time, different period of time, different varieties. And we saw that even biochemical parameters at different berry growth stages also it is differing, and it is giving a clear indication that at what time it should be. Just 1 minute. We found that salinity as space also in it is affecting to the plant and its photosynthetic activities through the destruction in the chlorophyll content and so many parameters. High temperature again affecting the quality of grapes by discoloration, then sun scalding and berry shriveling also. We have then studied on root morphology and anotypical changes on grape rootstock under drought as well as flood condition, water condition. So stress was given at a different at 5 days interval, and we saw that biochemical that morphological parameters like number of roots, total root length, then total root area, then root volume, all these have been increased up to a certain time, but after 15 days it has been reduced. Total chlorophyll content also, though that chlorophyll B has been increased from the beginning for certain time, but after some time it has also been reduced. But total chlorophyll content has been reduced. Then under drought condition, total flavonoids, flavons, phenolics has also been found to increase after certain time, and this is called as a defense mechanism of this one. Root studies, again the same studies we have done this on cortical cells, which have seen that there was a degradation of the cells after 15 days, particularly in those teams. And we also found then under a root morphology under waterlogging condition also was studied for the same rootstock for different conditions, and there we found it has sustained up to 20 degrees. The remaining rest of the parameters were remained same. So thus we conclude that the rootstock plays an important role in altering the grape physiology, and then the selection of rootstocks, and it is important for the improving the yield and quality parameters, and it should be when under studied in a drought condition it can sustain up to 15 days, whereas under flood condition it can sustain up to even 20 days. And it was many of the cases we have a different rootstock, 15, 16 rootstock, but only measure on doggery rootstock is the only rootstock which is performing better. Another rootstock is there which is being studied, and that is called 110R, that is for Bristol group, and that is also performing under different condition. So considering this, these are the way forward: screening of varieties in combination for different varieties. Then a rootstock combination for new varieties, and now there's a need is to be studied that genes responsible for abiotic stresses through biotechnological approaches. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There are two oral presentations. One is Dr. Asim Wasi. Yes, he has joined just now. He's actually present yesterday, and today is Dr. Anil Chandra. If people are present within 5 minutes, then it is fine. Otherwise, let's take after the lunch. After lunch? Are you here today only? Huh? So, thank you all the presenters. I will not go into the detail. Dr. Mother will take care of after lunch. And we want procedure करवानी कॉलेज का लीडर डॉक्टर गुलजार will take care of the procedure. Thank you. That's all.